What's up, everybody? I'm Louie. I'm here with Sir Brian, the East Coast Hedge Knight. Brian, how's it going?
Also known as Lisa Now Beach.
Um, we are going to talk today about the first episode of the new Game of Thrones show, The Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Um, we watched it. You've watched a few more episodes than I have.
I've watched all of them.
You've watched all of them. I've watched only the first one, so let's just talk about the
So
first
I
one.
actually I had to go back and rewatch the first one
Yeah.
to make sure I was only talking about
All
the
right.
first one.
Hey, man, if you drop some spoilers, oh well. We'll try not
Well,
to.
just I don't want to go headlong into a point about something and then you look at me and be like, "What?
Who?
He they did what?"
That sounds good.
So I rewatched it one time paying attention and a second time just kind of having it on while I was doing other stuff.
Nice.
just to just to make sure. Again, I didn't want to.
Yeah, I watched it twice myself.
Yeah,
It takes a couple times to let it all sink in, and
it was because of the
remember
poop, wasn't it?
is because the poop. We're gonna get to
You
that.
wanted to watch the poop
We're
again.
we're gonna get to that, Brian. But no, it took a second to kind of get back into the world of Game of Thrones. This show is so different than House of the Dragon. It
Yeah.
has a different tone. It has a different. I mean, it just is a different
Well,
show.
I didn't realize this until um, I don't know how it came up, but I got a recommendation in my Audible lists
Mm.
for this book by
Oh, the Hedge Knight.
um, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was based on anything he'd written, partially because I was surprised that anything he'd written was complete. So
Saying. Yeah, it's the Hedge Knight is a. It's not a. It's like a novella.
yeah, it's a
It's
novella.
a short book.
It's called The Adventures of Dunk and Egg,
Oh, okay, okay.
or that's like
That's
the like the first three Star Wars movie or the first nine Star Wars movies or the Skywalker saga.
okay. Yeah.
I think the Hedge Knight is like the first of
Hmm.
Dunk and Egg,
Dunk and Egg. What names?
which sounds like a really shitty Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, Dunk and Egg. America runs on Dunk and Egg. All right, so this story is it's set in 209 AC. If you're keeping track, I did a little
Right.
research here.
Me too.
So
So
it's
go
about
ahead.
100 years after House of the Dragon and about 100 years before Game of Thrones. Right in the
Right.
middle there. Um, and it's during a Targaryen is sitting on the Iron Throne.
Right.
I think it's King Darren Targaryen the second.
Yeah. And he's not the Man King. That is two kings from now,
He's not the
or
Mad King.
three kings from now.
Oh, I don't know. He's called Darren the Good.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I researched some of the same thing. That's why I was just to get a little context for time.
yep.
Um,
All right. So, all right. So in the show, we open somewhere in the Reach. It doesn't say some. We're somewhere in the area called the Reach, and
mhm.
Dunk is burying his master. Is master the right word? What do you? If who's the knight that
I've
made
heard
you a
it.
knight?
I've heard it just used different words.
Yeah.
One was, or like I've heard it referred to as like a liege lord.
Okay.
I've heard it reserved to as a master,
Mm-hmm.
and just a lord.
Yeah. I wonder if it's
But
different for hedge knights because they're not
yeah,
lords.
well, it's he Sir Alan
Arl,
Alarn Arlen
Arlen of Pennytree.
was not a lord,
Mm-hmm.
which at some point he mentions in the thing, but um, so I don't know if he would be called his liege lord or anything. He might have just
Mm-hmm.
been his master.
Yeah. Well, he's burying him. I don't think we really have discovered what how he died or anything. Maybe it's not important to the story, but um,
Um, just in looking around, it was apparently he died of a cold,
Okay.
which
Sucks.
I'm guessing means pneumonia, since
Yeah.
they live outside.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, he inherits 3 horses and a sword. I guess he inherits
It,
them by default since he's the only one around.
it's weird to me that people that would be considered poor have 3 horses.
He mentions in
And
there like I could sell you and eat for 2 years, eat like a king for a year
yeah,
or two. Like that. Why does he have 3 horses?
right.
Huh?
And such terrible armor,
Yeah.
or no armor actually.
He's got that shield. Yeah. Um. So yeah. So he buries him. We see some flashbacks of like basically how violent Arlen was to him. I mean, he how maybe not violent. He was a disciplinarian. If you got out of line, you got hit. Right.
Yeah.
It's a parenting. That's a way to parent.
I think that's also just to show that things were just violent.
Yeah.
Like he's appreciative of the fact that he only beat him when it was necessary,
Right. He was like, yeah, I
except for
deserve
that one
that.
time.
Except for the one time. Yeah. So Dunk wonders what to do, and he finally decides, "Hey, there's a tourney. Let's go. Let's go fight in the tourney at um, Ashford Meadows."
But I like that he was kind of reluctant to take the sword,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where he kind of showed a little bit of like, well, this isn't really right. Like it should be buried with you,
Yeah.
but
But what a
he's
waste.
kind of like, I can also use it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it just shows. It starts showing that I think he's a very naive character.
Yep. Oh, he sure is. He's kind of like you don't see a lot of like good-hearted characters in in the Game of Thrones universe, right? Everybody's got an agenda and out to get something, and he's just kind of I don't know. He seems more principled than a lot of the people that we meet in Game of Thrones. Is that
Yeah,
true? Do you think
like
that's true?
that's I think that's very true.
Yeah. And
Well, like
then
when he
yeah.
introduces himself, he's always like, "I have the honor of being a knight,"
Yep. Yep. And then there's the pooping scene, of course.
and then
What
you
was
and I
your
are
what? What? Go ahead.
you and I are Eagle Scouts.
Yes,
We have spent a lot of time in the woods.
I've pooped in the woods.
I have pooped in the woods many times,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
never once did I bend over a tree
It was
and like projectile shit.
things were different back then, Brian. Yeah. What was your initial reaction to the pooping scene? What was your very first reaction to it? Like the music swells, you think, okay, here comes the Game of Thrones intro, and then
I was stunned.
yeah.
I I paused it and rewound it
Hmm.
to make sure I was actually seeing what I was seeing. Like this
You
is
rewound the
surely
poop scene.
like I was like, surely I must have glanced off to the side and something happened when I wasn't looking for a second. I must have, sipped my wine or
You thought you made it
but
up.
no, my eyes did not deceive me,
Yeah.
unfortunately. I
So
was stunned.
now that you've had time to digest it and rewind it and watch it over and over again, um, what do you think? Like, what do you think that scene does? Why do you think they put it in?
I I can only think it's either for shock value
Yep, a little bit of that.
to like give people something to talk about, like kind of like all the birthing scenes at the beginning
Ugh,
of
House of the Dragon.
um yeah, like House of the Dragon, the first episode with a lot of really bad childbirths. The
Yeah, God,
first
that was rough.
episode of Game of Thrones was a little kid getting pushed out of a window.
Oh yeah.
So like maybe they knew that there wasn't going to be anything overly dramatic in the first episode, which there really wasn't.
Yeah. You think they're in the writing
And so they're
room
like,
and they're like, we need something with shock value for the first
like
episode. It's
what are people going
tradition.
to be talking about
Yeah.
Monday morning at the water cooler?
There might have been some of that. I don't disagree. I also think that they're trying to kind of set the tone, like they're trying to subvert your expectations. Like, oh, you think this is going to be one way, but like, no, we're not as serious as the other shows. We're going to be a little, funnier and a little just kind of crass and jokey. I feel like it was a tone setter.
Yeah, I can see that.
It
It
was graphic.
I'm just trying to picture a group of adults sitting around a room being like somebody saying, "All right, check this out. Just
Hear
hear
me
me out to
out.
the end." Yeah.
What
What if we
if
showed our what if we showed our protagonist dropping a deuce? Like a heart like a massive big one. And
poop
people are like,
flying out of his butt in the rain
okay. I mean, I guess it would show his humanity. While he's bent over a tree
and a bird's watching him?
and you actually see the poop coming out of his ass.
Yeah, like,
And
oh, you mean
like
you hear
I'm
him
imagining
pooping?
a
Oh
group
no, you see it.
of 4 to 6 people sitting in a room going, yeah, yeah.
And one person like, what, guys, hold on. What are we talking about here? Shut up, Larry, we're doing it.
I mean, I could see that it's in there just to show that life was pretty rough.
Mm,
I mean, this is, an analogy of the Middle Ages with
mm,
dragons, but
yeah. All right. um it's just the life of a hedge knight, right? This is what you do. You sleep under a
right.
tree, you poop under a tree.
No, you poop on it, or I guess out of a tree.
Out of a tree? He was just behind the tree.
He was leaning on it.
Well, okay. Yeah. All right. So he goes to he's riding to Ashford. He stops at an inn and he meets Egg.
Yes.
Egg is he's an interesting character. We get a little bit of foreshadowing here. He says he's from King's Landing,
But he's definitely not from Flea Bottom.
but not Flea Bottom. So he was very specific about that. Nope.
Right.
And then
He's
like
quite
no
obviously
follow up questions.
right.
Okay.
He's quite obviously educated.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
you can tell that just by the way he speaks before he even makes a point about anything, which he does a couple times.
Hmm.
Um, about knowing every knight in the realm and all that.
Right. Yeah, he did say that.
But he says my lord, not my lord.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So some background on him. Some mysteries around him. What's his deal? I like that Dunk threatens to like cloud him in the ear a bunch. He's like, what you need is a
clap him in
good
the ear.
clout in the ear. Yeah. I like that. He's kind of thinks this is the way you're supposed to treat a kid that is, wants to squire for you. Just because that's the way he was treated. So it'll be interesting to see that. Like, I feel like that's a storyline that's being set up. Like, how does he, like, basically
Mm-hmm.
what kind of parent is he? Like, I know it's
Mm-hmm.
not parenting, but it's close to it because Egg looks pretty young. And what the hell is Egg even doing there? Like, does he have parents? Is he the stable boy? He just kind of like leaves the inn later and is just like, I felt like following you. Like, he's just kind of wandering. It seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can't wait to see more about Egg. And he also runs into he's in the inn. There's a drunk dude sitting at the table. I think he's a Targaryen prince. And he says,
Mm-hmm.
I dreamed of you. Stay the hell away from me.
Yeah. That scene never really got paid off.
Okay. Like, I can't
I
wait to
meant
see
like
what
in
that's
this
all about.
episode.
In this episode,
I
yeah.
meant in this episode.
Yeah, they didn't
Like,
even say his name. It was just like, okay, stay
and the
away from me.
woman's just like, pay him no mind. And then
Hmm.
the show goes on.
Indeed it does.
Um,
Indeed it does. So,
so that's either setting up for something
yeah.
or it's kind of like pooping behind a
Or
tree.
it's super random, yeah.
It's
Well,
just something that they're like, we've got to fill this runtime. Come on, people.
I assume we're putting a pin in that one and we're going to come back to it. um, then, let's see. He gets to Ashford. He spends an evening at the Ashford Meadow just kind of doing a bunch of shit. He's trying to join the lists and
Right. He's trying to get somebody to vouch for him.
having some trouble. Yeah. And he
Yeah.
finds one guy that he thinks will vouch for him, and nope. I don't know, you piss
Right.
off, basically, is what he gets.
It's kind of a weird, like, he just walks up and is like, "Hey, I'm a knight." Like,
Right.
even if he finds, like, I just don't understand how even if he finds someone that remembers Sir Arlen,
Mm-hmm.
that would necessarily make him. I guess he does have his sword, so
He has a sword, but no one saw him get knighted. It is a strange system. I mean, anyone could just show up and say they're a knight.
right.
So how do you? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. The best he could do is get someone to say, "I know he was squiring for this knight. That's that knight's sword," and I believe him when he
Yeah.
says that he got knighted. That's about the best he can hope for, which is not a lot, but
No,
one assumes it's going to work and he's going to get into the
I
tourney.
would. Yeah. Otherwise, this would be the biggest letdown and
Right? Well, never know where the story is going to go.
since the last episode of Game of Thrones.
Right? Oh, come on. um, so he's looking for a letter of recommendation. He he keeps hitting his head on stuff. It's just funny. They're trying to make a point that this guy's tall.
Well, the actor that plays him is 6'5",
Shit, that's pretty
so
tall.
he's a big boy.
That's pretty tall.
So the reaction of everyone is justifiable. I mean, you don't run into people that tall every day.
You ever meet the guy I used to hang out with at when I lived at in Brookhaven? There's a guy who lived there who used to go to
Yes,
the bar.
yes,
His name was
at
Bill Murray.
yes, I remember
He
Bill Murray.
he
I met him
was
a couple
he
times.
was 6'8". He was a tall motherfucker. He was
When
you,
I
you
was
never
in
lost him in the bar. You just look above everybody. You know where he is at all times.
when I was in Auburn, I hung out with three brothers.
Yeah.
Um, two were like 6'10", and
Mm-hmm.
the other was like 6'8".
Jeez.
And
So
once
tall.
upon a time, there was a picture of me standing in the middle of the three of them,
Mm-hmm.
and like I come up to like their nipples.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not overly tall or overly short. I'm like right there, right in the middle of average.
Yeah.
But I mean, can you imagine having, and two of them are twins?
Yeah. Man, the world's not built for people like that. And that's what they're showing in the
No,
show. It's just like he keeps hitting his head on stuff. Nobody else has that problem, but you're not supposed to be that big. That's his fault. That's on him. Um, all right. So a lot of things happened that night. So I thought it was interesting his interactions with the two ladies. I suppose they're
it's
just,
like a regular night, but sadder.
yeah. Yeah. They call him sad a lot. I like that. He's like, I'm not sad. But he is. Uh, but yeah, they're kind of funny. They rib him, and then they kind of feel bad about it. I think they seems like they start to feel sorry for him.
They did
Yeah,
because
but
he comes off as kind of slow.
a little bit. Yeah. Do you think he is
And
slow?
again, well, again, it's hard. Is that the naivety, or is that
Mm.
he's just kind of a maybe
Yeah,
a little slow in the head?
he's not the smartest dude, but I think gentleness can come off as stupidity sometimes. I think if you're not
I think,
push.
especially in a time like that.
Yeah. Yep. So they're pitting him a little bit. He meets the Fossaways. Let's see, it's Stefan and his younger cousin Raymond, and he
Mhm.
befriends Raymond, or Raymond befriends him, really. um, and then Raymond takes him to the Lionel Baratheon's party.
What's his? He's like the roaring. There's a nickname for him.
Oh, I don't know it.
Oh, it's like the. It's something roaring or roaring something that
Okay.
alludes to him being drunk all the time.
Oh, okay.
And because he's so big, that he fights like on the battlefield. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like the roaring drunk or the roaring something. I can't remember what it was. It's just little things I picked up looking into this stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a great
because he's
character.
drunk
He's
like all the time.
He gets drunk. That actor really impressed me. At first, I thought this guy looks a lot like what's his name? Shit, what's his name? Lannister. The Lannister, the short one. What's his name?
Hound.
No, no, no. The shoot, Tyrion, not Tyrion, but the other one. Peter Dinklage. That's the name I'm trying to think of. Thank you.
Oh,
I think he looks kind of like Peter Dinklage. You don't see it?
I,
I don't know. At first,
I
I
mean,
was like, he just has like the same beard, and something about his face looks a lot like Peter Dinklage. They're not related. It's not. They're not. I mean, they're not supposed to be related in the show. The actor's not related. I just think he looks a lot like him. But that guy, he did a great job, man. Just being drunk and dancing and acting like someone who just
yeah.
doesn't care.
There's that scene during the dancing
Hmm.
where he kept trying to step on Dunk's toes.
Yeah,
Did you catch that?
yeah.
I
He was kind
don't
of.
understand.
I took it as like he was kind of trying to like challenge him to like he wants someone to. Okay, here's how I took it. If you're a king of the north or whatever the heck he is, the leader of the house, I don't think it's king of the north, but he's probably in charge of one of the
I think
seven
he's
kingdoms,
I
right?
think he's not the king. He's like the brother of the king.
Is he like a prince? Is it
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
okay?
yeah.
So anyway, he probably is surrounded by people who are afraid of him, who are kind of yes men, and I took it as like Dunk stood up to him and wasn't intimidated by. He was a little intimidated by him, but he kind of stood his ground, and I think he liked that. He was like, oh, this guy's not going to treat me differently. And so I think he was just trying to push him to see like where's the boundary, like how will this guy react to this? And he liked how he reacted to it, and it seems like those guys became pretty good friends over the course of that night,
They did.
and that's a good friend to have.
Yeah, if you're gonna make pals in a camp full of knights, you might as well be like someone who's adjacent to the throne.
Right. Yeah, it's a good friend to have, but then at the end he was like, what should I do? And he was like, I don't know, bye. He like didn't help
Yeah.
him at all. Could have. Definitely could have helped him, but was like, I'm gonna let you figure it out.
Man, I'm already too drunk. What do we do with liars?
Yeah, right. What was the answer? Drown him, burn him? I don't
Burn him and
know.
something.
Yeah.
Like nail him to a board and burn him or something like that.
Yeah. Um and is that it? Oh no, and then he finds Egg. That's right. So Egg has followed him from
Well,
the
yeah, he
inn.
goes back to his camp.
Yeah.
Did they see? I can't remember because I've watched further episodes.
Yeah.
When he was in the tent
Okay.
and he was talking to the host of the games. I can't remember his name,
Yeah.
but he was a dick.
He was a dick.
Um, and then the
And he was gross. He
Targaryen.
was like he was
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
gross.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he asked him why he was upset, right? Or why he was so angry later. Wasn't he talking to his buddies about it?
I don't remember
And they said, I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question
that.
without giving out any spoilers.
He was in the tent once in this episode,
Right,
and the guy said, how do I know you're a knight? You need to go get someone to vouch for you.
right.
And then he left. And that was it for that guy. So you're probably thinking of another episode.
I might be. So I'm not going to ask that question.
All right. We'll talk about that another time after I know what the hell you're talking about. And then that's it. Like he accepts Egg as his squire. Egg's like, I got us food. I made a fire. I took care of the
He
horses.
said, I would have pitched a tent if you had one.
If you had one. Yeah. So I guess Duncan's like, all right, this guy's useful. We'll keep him around. And they had a little heartfelt moment with the shooting star and stuff like that. And I don't know. I
Oh,
like
yeah,
it.
like, he's like, I'll feed you and I'll clothe you.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I don't. Overall, what'd you think of the episode? Are you excited for the show? Is it a nice change of pace from the other Game of Thrones shows?
It is. Like they're not trying to cram 72 characters down your throat, which I
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Um,
They're actually
so
following
far,
one character, which is new.
weird, right?
It's just, I mean, it's only following
For
one
Game of Thrones,
character.
I mean.
Yeah.
Um, It sucked me in. Like I like how it
Mm.
was set up. Um, like they're clearly dropping hints on future things to come.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's
I mean,
all
I basically watched this show, like the whole series, in like, with the exception of the last episode, I watched it in like 3 days.
yeah. The episodes are only 30 minutes. That's a big
Yeah.
change because the other shows, both the other Game of Thrones shows, are an hour long. So even that gives this
Well,
a very different feel.
yeah, and you know what? I think they're trying to learn from other streaming shows' mistakes.
Okay.
Like, so this one comes, like, the story comes from a complete book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a beginning, a middle, and end. The writers don't have to make anything up. So they've got that going for them, which is seems to be a bonus so far.
Yeah.
Um, but they're not trying to cram too much into every episode,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not trying to make the episodes so long just to make them long.
Right.
Like like a lot of streaming shows, like there's just filler, like it's content for the sake of content,
Yep.
and this is just here's our guy. These are the people he meets along his way.
Yep.
Is he going? And it ends with the question: is he going to get into the tournament or not?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it just this feels like like episode one of Game of Thrones, like that just felt like a very realistic show,
Mm-hmm.
and this does too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mean, I'm not saying that you won't later get into magic and dragons and
I
fairies
was
and
going to
shit,
ask what you
but
meant by realistic. You mean it's just kind of yeah,
it
not
just
not a
feels
lot of
more
magic
grounded.
and fantasy stuff yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
I mean, they may be getting to that later, but
Mm-hmm.
as far as like the intro to it, like
Mm-hmm.
everything was there for a purpose. It filled a point into the plot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, especially like the Disney Plus Star Wars streaming shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're like 10, like 50-minute episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and it could have really been, you know, 3 or 4 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, the length can be a real barrier to entry. Like sometimes, like, oh, I'm really interested in that show, but then I think that's a lot of time commitment to get into that show. It can definitely be a barrier. So I appreciate the short episodes. It's cool to see them
Yeah,
do shorter episodes. Get in, get to the point, get out.
right.
It feels good.
And like this is, and again, like I know I keep going back to Game of Thrones at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, but like it's plot driven.
Mm-hmm.
It's not,
World
like the
building.
later episodes of Game of Thrones, like when you're highly anticipating the Battle of the Bastards,
Mm-hmm.
but like a lot built up into that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I hope or assume is going on here is that this is introducing you to the people, giving you the lay of the land,
Yep.
that kind of thing, so that like we build to the big stuff. They're not just showing dramatic fight scenes just to have
Right.
something on the screen,
God, I wonder how many
which I
seasons this
appreciate.
is going to go. Wonder how long of a show that we're going to get. I mean, it's definitely at least 2 seasons. I think.
Right.
I think they've announced a second season, so we'll see. It could go 8. It could be just 3. I don't know. I can't wait to see how much we're going to get of this.
Yeah, I made a mistake during when Game of Thrones was coming out. I
Mm-hmm.
was reading the books
Mm-hmm.
as the show was coming out.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Don't.
So
Yeah. That would
every
be so
single time,
confusing.
yeah, it was
That would
extremely
be
confusing.
so
And
confusing.
I was always getting spoilers
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
because you're never quite in the same place from one to the other.
Yeah.
So I considered getting this book,
Mm-hmm.
and I still might, but
You might be
you know,
able to, this one might work better because if it's a more straightforward story following just one character, you can say this is the point where I should stop reading because he hasn't gotten to this point in the show yet. If you're
that
worried
is
about
true.
spoilers, that would be hard with the
Yeah,
Game of
but do
Thrones
that.
books because they're all over the fucking place, and the
Oh God.
TV show does not follow it linearly. It just kind of, it's
If
different. It's a
if
different
he put
animal.
out if Martin put out the last book of that series
Hmm.
tomorrow, would
Hmm.
you read it?
Oh, I don't know, man. I feel like I would have to. That's a good question, Brian. I feel like I would have to go back and read all the other ones to have a chance of understanding what was going on in that last book, because it's been years. It's been years, man.
Yeah,
So it's been probably 15 years since I read those books.
it's been at least 10
Yeah, because I
since
read
I read
them
them.
before I moved, so it's more than 10 years. I just, and I don't have the retention. When I read a book, a few months later, I've forgotten everything that happens in that book. I just don't have the retention, which I like, which is it's like new every time to me. But I would have to go back and read them all, and that's how many books is that? And they're this thick. Like
Yeah.
they're not
Um,
an easy read.
what is it? It's like 5 books, I
Oh,
think.
five, yeah. Oh,
Like
that
five
I don't know if I have the
3,000
time
page
for
books.
that. I got kids now, man. I don't know if I have the time for that anymore. Back in the day, I
You
would
know
have
what?
just
I
plowed through
bet
it.
you could probably get a, what were those things called? The little yellow booklets?
The Cliff Notes.
Cliff's Notes.
Cliff's Notes, yeah.
The Cliff Notes of
Yeah, I'm sure I
Game
could.
of Thrones.
I'm sure I could. I could probably figure it out. It might be.
I don't think I would read it because I
Yeah.
just don't care at this point.
It's a great story. I mean, it's a great story. That's why I would want to go back and reread the other ones, because it is a great story. I'd like to immerse myself in that world again and do it all over again with an ending this time. But I think I would wait. I wouldn't do it immediately. If he put it out today, I would not read it. But I think later in my life, I would read through that series again.
I could see
Maybe
that.
like when my kid's old enough to do it with me. Like we could like it's something I could share with her maybe.
It could be
Or
your shiftless saw moment.
yeah, what a reference.
What book was that?
Absolutely no one got that reference.
I know. I can't because I
It's
can
just
never remember
funny.
the name of the. What was the book series?
It's this book series right here.
Yeah, I can't read that.
I know. It's called The Young Trailers
The Young Trailers.
by
I
Altscheller. Joseph A. Altscheller. It came out in like 1908 or something. It's a very old book. But yeah, so yeah, it'd be like that. Like I used to, my grandfather read that book, those books. He used to read those books to my dad, and so now I have them.
so you're going to read Game of Thrones to
So
your
I'm gonna read
daughter,
Game of Thrones to my daughter. That seems appropriate, right?
and he took his 13-year-old wife to bed.
No. I mean, when she's like older, I think we could read them together. I'm not gonna do it now. She's too young. She's 4. That would not go well.
So like 6.
We'll see. She's very mature for her age.
That would be a fun call into the principal's office.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're devolving here. I think we. Is there anything else you want
Yeah.
to say about the show?
Um, let's see. I don't. I mean, it's so short that
Yep.
there's really not a whole lot to go into at this point
Yeah.
because we're just kind of in the introductory phase.
Yep. Well, next time we'll get into some more of the meat. I liked it. I'm excited to watch more. Can't wait to see the second episode, and
Yeah,
um,
I'm excited for you.
hopefully he gets into this tournament and kicks some ass, man. If he doesn't, he's gonna have no horses, no money, no nothing,
Right.
and that would suck. It would also be kind of fun to see what he does next there. But anyway, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it'll
All
be
right.
good. I promise. I
Can't
mean,
wait.
maybe,
Maybe
maybe
you don't know.
it could suck.
It
You
could.
never know.
All right, we're gonna call it there, Brian.
Cool.
Till next time, buddy.
Sayonara.
All right.